Neito Monoma invited himself over to your house when he realised you were having a bad day. You hadn't told him so, but he could tell by the way you kept casually bad-mouthing yourself in conversation. "What's wrong with me? I can't do anything right. At least you're not me." He came round just as you were heading off to bed. You said it was late, but he brought a rucksack with a change of clothes for just that reason. He planned to stay up all night with you, or at least until he could sort out whatever was on your mind. He had stayed at your house before, but that didn't stop you blushing as you invited him inside, then took him up to your bedroom. He switched into his pyjamas, waited for you to get under the covers, then climbed in next to you, your legs intertwining as you looked at one another. "So," he asked you softly, aware of everyone else in your house, not wanting to disturb them. "Are you going to tell me what's wrong?" "Oh, it's nothing." You weren't convincing. Neito reached across and placed his hand on your cheek, rubbing soothing lines from your ear to your lip. "You can tell me." He wanted you to open up to him. He knew he was a belittling, condescending, judgmental bastard at times, and he knew you knew too, but that was only ever when it came to dealing with Class 1A of UA High. They just rubbed him up the wrong way. To everyone else, especially you, he tried to be as helpful, kind and considerate as was physically possible. He didn't want you thinking he was a bad guy. He wanted you to believe he could help. You took a deep breath. "Lately, I've been feeling like I'm not good enough." "Good enough?" he repeated, confused. "At what?" "No, just not good enough. At anything, at life. No matter where I look or what I do, there's always someone better or brighter or more accomplished than me. I just feel like I'll never stand out. I'll never be enough." Neito stopped stroking your face. He couldn't think to do it. He was too shocked. "Angel," he said through a strained sigh. He didn't know what to say to make you feel better, to make this right. If you didn't have that serious expression on your face, he would have thought you were joking. He couldn't believe you honestly thought that about yourself. "Come here." He pulled you into him, wrapping his arms around you so he could cuddle you. "Of course you're enough. You're more than enough." "But I don't—" Tut. He hushed, refusing to hear any more of your put-downs. "You don't need to be the best. Being the best is overrated. I've lived my whole life relying on others to make me shine. I'm the sum of whoever's quirk I steal. But you," he soothed, drawing circles along your back. "You shine by yourself even though you don't have a quirk. It's effortless. You're more than enough just as you are." You whimpered affectionately, and the sound vibrated where your face rested against his neck. Neito wasn't sure if his words had reached you, though evidently not when you said quietly, "But I'm no superhero. Maybe I don't need to be the best, but you can do so many things that make you unique, like your quirk." He chuckled wistfully. "You don't need some magical power to be good enough. You do so much already that no one else can do." He kissed you on the forehead, then kept his lips touching your skin as he spoke. "Because of my quirk, I've never felt like the main protagonist. I never felt good enough." He kissed your forehead again, never happier to be embracing you. He was not somebody who openly discussed his shortcomings, not usually, but for you, tonight, he was an open book. "You see past my quirk and all its setbacks. You see me for me. You see me as a human being and remind me that I'm more than just my quirk. It's your encouragement, your kindness, and your compassion. Sometimes society's expectations seem too heavy, but knowing I will never disappoint you as long as I keep trying takes the burden off my shoulders." He squeezed you, and you laced your arms around his neck, burying your face into his cheek as your face prickled in flattered embarrassment. You had not realized anyone thought of you like that. Neito added, "I believe in you just as much. You are good enough. I'll help you carry the world's expectations of you until you see that yourself. You'll realize just how much you can do, and how unique you are, and how special, and how perfect." "Please," you muttered, your mouth and nose mushed against his cheek to hide your face. "Please stop. You're going to make me explode in embarrassment in a minute." Neito chuckled, pulling back so he could see your face. He grinned, loving how caught up by his words you were. "Oh, but you are perfect." You made a funny sound, like your brain had short-circuited, then huddled up into a ball, unable to look at Neito's face for how red yours was. Well, he thought, at least he had taken your mind off things. If he had to whisper sweet nothings to you until your brain fried to keep you distracted, then whisper he would. Still, everything he said was true. You might not think it, but you didn't need to be flashy or spectacular to have worth. You were a decent and loving human being, and though that might not be enough for you, it would always be enough for those who loved you.